Emergency pending.
There are a ton of different hose loads and reasons for them. Hose load selection generally depends on the response district and what occupancies are typically encountered. Flat load, Minuteman, Trifold are typically the more common pre-connected attack loads. The Denver fold or New York fold may be encountered on bundles and high-rise loads. The Woodlands Fire Department primarily uses the Trifold for pre-connected attack lines. As such, we should ensure that we are proficient in its deployment as well as reloading considerations. The biggest benefits to the Trifold are that when pulled perpendicular to the hose bed, it deploys fast, and it will clear the bed in 1/3 of the distance that the line is, so 67 feet for a 200-foot line, with only 2 major folds or changes of direction. It also deploys bidirectionally for transverse hose beds, such as cross lays and speed lays. The load is ideally suited for suburban residential districts without open ditches or other front yard obstacles, because you can grab the nozzle and the loop and pull fast away from the truck, like is often the case in our area. However, the Trifold has limitations we should all be aware of as well. Perhaps the most notable is that once it's off the truck, it's all on the ground. So any advancement is done by dragging the line across the ground around obstacles such as yard art, trees, vegetation, parked cars, etc. It's particularly ill-suited for advancing up dry stairwells or for lengthy stretches. And if you follow the practice of ensuring you have at least 50 to 100 feet of working length hose at your point of entry, you'll likely have to advance the nozzle and then drop back 50 or more feet to retrieve the slack for your working length. Even with these potential delays, it's still a very fast setup with routine practice. Alternatives to the Trifold typically allow the firefighter to shoulder some of the hose stretch. The Minuteman and the flat load both allow the firefighter to maneuver changes of direction, such as obstacles and stairwells, and the hose doesn't all have to be dragged into position. These alternatives do end up with more potential for a spaghetti effect where the hose is laid out and not properly flaked, which requires disentanglement and working out the kinks. These loads may be better suited in districts with short setbacks, angled deployments, or at multi-story apartments. Whether ensuring proficiency with our bread and butter Trifold or trying out something new, your stretch should end up with 50 to 100 feet of working length of hose laid straight out perpendicular to the point of entry to minimize friction and pinch points. The section closest to the nozzle should be flipped up over the next section, called running attack over supply, to minimize resistance on advance. This will also help the IC and other crews keep an awareness of your position in the building by observation of coupling locations relative to the entry point. This doesn't come all by itself, but requires repetitive practice. Get out and get some. Don't be the person who flubs, hangs up, or tangles the stretch. For more information on attack line deployment, look into some of these resources.